But Trevor, let's get into this player who the tape's awesome. The tape is awesome. This is a redshirt junior. He's listed 6 foot, 280 pounds. So let's call it what it is. He's going to be fighting that fight that guys like Grady Jarrett have fought, not bringing up Aaron Donald, but he had to fight that fight. Aaron Donald wasn't a top 5 pick. I remember Aaron Donald was no lock to go top 15. He had to fight that fight. Even Sheldon Rankins, who, let me look at Sheldon Rankins' height from the combine. 6'1". Sheldon Rankins, 6'1".
There you go.
Same thing.
There you go.
So these are guys that are obviously first-round talents. Grady Jarrett played up to being a first-round talent, didn't go in the first round. Aaron Donald and Sheldon Rankins Aaron Donald's had one of the best NFL careers of all time. Sheldon Rankins has been a really good player for a long time. And Calijah Kancey is going to have to fight that because he's probably 6 feet tall. He's probably going to come in at the combine around 280, 285, whatever he could do. But all that matters is this dude is a pass rushing mammoth. He's a mammoth.
He's a wild man.
He has done some of the craziest shit I have ever seen from interior defensive linemen. There's a play, and once again, we can't tweet out all 22, and I went and found the broadcast of it, and it didn't do it justice, so I kept it in my pocket. There was a play, and I get it. It's against Rhode Island, but he also dominates really good teams, so that's not the point. Where Trevor, he does like a UFC jump and swipe. Instead of the Superman punch, he jumps and swipes, kills the running back into the quarterback. And I'm like, that is one of the craziest plays I have ever seen from an interior defensive lineman prospect. 2-year starter, back-to-back 7-sack seasons. He finished this season with 7 sacks, 9 more quarterback hits, 30 hurries. He had a pass rush win rate of 22.7%.
Yeah, it's good.
God levels from the interior.
It's good.
Twitchy, agile, active hands. It's very hard to keep this man blocked. He also flashes some bull rush power despite playing at 280. I think it's kind of the art of war aspect, right? The mental warfare with him. I think you see him. If you're a big hulking offensive lineman, you go, all right, little man, I got probably 40 pounds on you, 3 to 5 inches. My arms are longer. Everything about me is bigger, all the way from my pads down to whatever you want to say.
Heyo.
And you think he's going to try to work around you, shoot gaps, play small. And he'll surprise you by getting his hands inside you and moving you. So I like the mental aspect of this dude's game. His explosiveness off the ball allows him to dictate almost every rush. Every time the ball is snapped, he's in control. He's either two-way go, even if he's just trying to hit on a stunt and twist, even if he's trying to work the edge. I've seen him stand up rush. That was another thing I wrote in here. He has the versatility to rush as a stand-up guy on passing downs. He's like, all right, get your ass out there to the 7 or the 5, stand up, full speed ahead. I thought he garnered a ton of respect from other teams. He saw a ton of double teams. You'll go 10 snaps in a row of this guy having a guard and center on him. Calijah Kancey, man, he's explosive against the run. He's not a guy, he's not going to be for everyone. Let me say it that way, right? I think a 4-3, pin your ears back and go, get off the ball scheme, rush first, think later. And when I say that, I mean rush first. You're not read and reacting and containing and controlling 2 gaps and all that, that's more of the usually Belichick, Brian Flores, guys like that have done those kinds of defenses. This is a 4-3. You put this dude in San Francisco scheme, the New York Jets scheme, Seattle scheme, I think the Eagles, and you just let him go. He's going to clean up at the NFL level. I was blown away by his tape.
You know what? I was about to say made me mad. It didn't actually make me mad, but I was like, oh man, I was thinking about Calijah. And when Mel put him at 10 of the Eagles in his mock, I was like, that's egregious. It's erroneous on all accounts. And then I was thinking about Calijah, and I was thinking about his skill set, and I was thinking about exactly what you just said. And I was like, yeah, what you really need is you need him to go to an offense, or you need him to go to D-line that's got a really dominant nose, right? A really dominant nose tackle to where Calijah can be one-on-one. And I was like, you know what team would be perfect? Oh. The Eagles, because they have Jordan Davis.
So, dude, he nailed it. He nailed it.
Now, I would like Calijah Kancey at 32.
I agree.
More
31.
than 10. What?
31.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Yeah, 31.
The forfeited pick.
Whatever it is. Whatever it is. I agree with you completely. When you snap the football, this young man is on your ass.
Yeah,
I was laughing at a couple of these plays because the center would snap the football, and then as he is putting his hand and his head up, Kancey is already not just like up in his shit, but like already like hand fighting the chest and where his arms are, to where the center's like, hold on, this is not supposed to happen this fast. And then all of a sudden, like, Kancey's hitting a swim move on him, getting underneath the arm, whatever, boom, he's in the backfield. And he would do that with guards. He would do that with centers. He would do that with everybody. You mentioned it. He's 6 foot tall, 100. He is 6 feet tall, 280, 285 pounds. But it is hard to think that if you had a defensive lineman, a 3-tech defensive lineman that is this size, that they could do better than what Calijah Kancey does. He is as good as a small pass rushing defensive tackle as you are going to find. The explosiveness is there. The motor is relentless. The bull rush is fantastic. The leverage is always on point. He hits the swim move. He hits the push pull. He does all of that stuff. He will hit a spin move on you. He'll do WWE moves apparently. And look, he will hold his own against single blocks. If you come at him in the run game, he will hold his own. Now, of course, if you start double teaming him, if he's in the middle of a duo, yeah, he's going to get knocked back a little bit. He's 280 pounds. It's just going to happen. That's one of those things where you just have to accept it. He is a small defensive tackle, but I will say it again, for small defensive tackles, it is hard to think they could play that position better than Calijah Kancey does. The violence, the quickness, the relentlessness, it is all there for this dude. He is consistently in the backfield. You mentioned the hurries. He also had 14.5 tackles for loss, and I believe that's the second year in a row that he has had back-to-back double-digit tackles for loss. It just shows you what kind of a backfield producer this guy is. And that really, really matters in this class, because even if you take the potential of Brian Brzee, of Siaka Ika, of Mazzie Smith, of Gervin Dexter, of whoever you want, they ain't getting into the backfield like this dude is. No. Not even in their best, right?
No.
Right? Not even at their best are they getting in the back. This young man lives in the backfield. I have this theory that, especially when it comes to goal line and short yardage backs, when you score touchdowns on offense, when it is just second nature to you, that, yeah, this is what we do. When we get into the red zone, when we get to the goal line, they hand me the ball and I get across the line of scrimmage and I score. There is something mentally to that. You just expect to score. It's not, oh, I'm going to take the first contact that I see at the line of scrimmage and I'm going to, try my best to get as many yards as I can. No. We score. I get into the end zone. This isn't special. This is the standard. This is what happens when we get down here. And I have a affinity for backs that score a lot of touchdowns in college, because it ain't rare for them when they make it to the NFL. Instead, once that opportunity comes up again in the pros, it's already in their mental. This is what I do. I cross the goal line. I'm making it happen. We're scoring 6. I feel similarly with defensive linemen who live in the backfield. This is what because look, man, I watched Mazzie. I watched Sikkema. I watched Brian Brzee.
Sure.
They are not people.
We watched Dexter.
They are not people who live in the backfield. And it's not because of lack of ability. There are times when I would watch Mazzie and I'm like, dude, get off the block. Like, you've got him there. Do what you have done before. I've seen you in this exact situation. Throw a push pull on a guy, hit a swim move on a guy, get into the backfield. And it's just not second nature to them. Kancey's home is in the backfield. Before the mortgage rates went up, this man got himself a plot of land, and that's where he's living right now. He's big chilling. The value on this property's through the roof. It's because he was in there early, and he stayed there ever since. He is a backfield guy. That is where his home is, and I think that is so valuable for an interior defensive lineman like him. You mentioned, is he going to be for literally everybody? No, of course. If you're playing an odd front, yeah, he's probably not for you. Probably can't draft him. But I really hope that he goes to the perfect team because this is a dude that is consistently working. He is fast, he is violent, and he is my kind of football player. So I agree with you. That's why I got him at number 2.
I mean, man, it's for real. For anybody out there that reacted kind of surprised when they saw him going 10th overall in Mel's mock or whatever it might be, he is extremely, extremely for real because he wrecks. He's a game wrecker. He's a game wrecker that he just does things that you won't see a lot of guys be able to do in terms of it. I mean, for his flexibility, Trevor, is just unbelievable. Even at that size,
Now,
an undersized IDL.
I will just say this. It's kind of an obvious, but I might as well say it just because we have a podcast about it. He does have the similar issues that Ika and Mozzie Smith do, where the arms are shorter, right? I will watch him bull rush and get up into an offensive lineman's chest, and he times everything perfectly. Fires off the ball. The hands go exactly where they need to. The offensive lineman is knocked back. They're on their heels. They're trying to grasp at anything to try to get back control. They're trying to hop their feet, but he's pushing them too far back. And the second he goes, okay, now, and goes to rip them down in a push-pull, sometimes it's the same thing where the arm length just isn't long enough to get a clean disengagement from the block, that he cannot cleanly shed the block as well as you would want him to. And that's just a physical thing that you got to be okay with. So I wanted to mention that too, but that seems to be a consistent that you're going to have to find through this class. And if you're going to live with it from one guy, you're going to live with it from Calijah Kancey, I think.